Qila kastochla nuka kamerawazi gaitlach yelis gaitlach numris. Gach amchdi lach hada llanswill glitwen I achnut. So what helped me with kwak'wala is, number one, understanding the vowels and how to use them. There are a bunch of vowels that actually aren't used in the Umista orthography. I've realized that because, for instance, we say ah for obels, abani, ada, and we say for amagyati, amabidu, anwe, anuzulis. You can hear the right? But the same vowel, so if I was to say ikman, the vowel we actually use is the A line, which makes an but we don't say ikman, right? We say ikman. So it's an sound. When I was going to school and learning the North American phonetic alphabet, she was calling that the small capital I. So it's like the tiny little I that sits next to the letter that makes an I sound with the North American phonetic alphabet, short napa. And or it's like an I with a swoop and then the dot. Swoop, it goes up like this. It looks like a backwards J, and yeah, it looks like a backwards tiny J. And so that makes an I sound with the napa. And then we have a letter that is same letter, A line, A with a line under it, but it's pronounced, okay, hold on. Oh no, sorry. Letter A, just a plain letter A. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. A plain letter A makes an ah sound, like as if you're going to a dentist, right? Ah. But there's this one letter that makes an ah. But it depends on what letter it is used with. So if you have a letter G, I'm thinking through my own little study and research is that if it's used with those silent and invisible Y letters, I think that's when it's coming up the most for me so far. So for instance, G-A-D-A, we know that the letter A makes an ah, but in this case, it makes an ah. Gyada. If I had something in my hand and I said book gyada, ah, it makes an ah sound. If I was holding a pen and I said ada yugada, so ah, it makes an ah sound because we know that explosive K has an invisible silent Y after it, right? Ah. And then it's only with a letter A though, okay? And then another letter that isn't with the Umista orthography, which makes writing really hard if you're learning the Umista orthography, is the letter A. Not the letter A, the letter A, which is an E with the line above it, which makes an A sound. So the example is ha'ma'elas, ga'elas. Okay, so A, ha'ma'elas, ga'elas. So we do have an A sound, we have an A sound, and we have I sound, but it isn't in the Umista orthography. So if you're trying to write, sometimes you can't find the word, and I think that's why it's hard for people. So I know that there's some people, and there's a group of people that's using like an I with a line under it that's actually just an I sound. But it actually isn't, it's a made up letter. But there is, if you're writing with North American. I don't know if I'm confusing you, but just so you know. So, yeah, so let's do a little bit more study with those sounds. If you're having challenges writing, just give me a message. You can write to me through my messages here if you need help with certain letters that you're having a hard time pronouncing. So, Gila Castochla, Tlachwala Nukunklus, Hala Castochla.